Hey, it's Ray here, and I wanted to go over SpinZign today because it is a new tool that we talked about yesterday that really does a good job of allowing you to create amazing designs from templates so you don't have to do everything from scratch like you would with, let's say, Photoshop. Now, I made the kind of that tongue-in-cheek thing, is this better than Photoshop? And in some ways I said yes. Well, the reality is obviously Photoshop is a massive program with tons and tons and tons of high-end tools for doing all sorts of crazy things that most mortals would never do. This here allows you to bring in some nice templates, make the changes that you need, and have graphics ready to go in just a couple of moments. And that's what we've got here. We've got this electrician one here, and I'm going to show you how to do this from scratch. So what we're going to do is we're going to hit New, and I'm going to hit OK. And we're going to choose to create a blog post in this case here because I like the size of that, 1200 by 800. But you could choose Instagram, Facebook, ads of different kinds, Twitter, YouTube banners, banner ads, business cards, whatever it is you want to do, e-covers. So in this case here, again, I'm going to choose the blog post because I kind of like the size of that. And it's going to be 1200 by 800, and it's going to start us off with this blank canvas. Now, if we wanted to create our own from scratch, we could do that. We just come over here, and you got different elements. You can add shapes and overlays and photos and artwork, and you can add text and all sorts of fun things to this. But what we want to do is we want to build this from a template because, hey, why not, right? So we're going to click on the templates here. We're going to choose one of the industries in here. So in that case here, there we had the electrician, so we're going to choose that. And the one that we used was one of these here, so I'm just going to choose this one. And that's going to bring in our template. And again, once we have the template here, we can come in and we can make our changes. So for instance, this is Electrics Electrical Company. So if we wanted to change that, we'd click on the Electrics part here. We can change the text. So if this is going to be Ray's Electric Company, we just do that. And now we got Ray's Electric Company. Nice, right? Now we can come in, we could change the font, we could change the coloring and the gradient. So if we wanted to do that, we could, change that. Right now it's a yellow to a black, which looks terrible, but we could of course change the colors, but we can just leave that the way that is for the moment. We can come down here, we can, let's see, we can change the centering, we can change the text, or the font rather. So if we wanted to do a different font, we could. Definitely not that font though. We'll stick with that one there, but you can change fonts. You can add outlines, and you can change the colors. So if you wanted to put an outline on there, you could. And then you could change the color of it in here. Let's make something really garish looking. Just because why not? So you can come in and you can choose different colors and really have a good little fun time with that. And there we go. So now we got this ugly, terrible outline on there. We'll get rid of that. So the beauty is it's non-destructive, which means you can add the lines, you can remove the lines off. It's not there permanently. And of course, you can change the opacity. And if you wanted to blur it, you could, do different things. You can change the opacity of it as well on the shadows if you wanted to add shadows, which I should probably choose a shadow first. Oop, there we go. It's hard to see the blur that I put on the shadow when I don't turn the shadow on first. So you can change that blur. So if you want to do something like that, you could. And if you decide you don't want a shadow, you can always go back and do none. You could also do an outer glow if you wanted to. And in that case here, we may want to choose a bright yellow color. You can see the glow on there now. Woo! And you can change the blur size of that as well. Or you can go right back to nothing. And then, of course, you can change any of the items on here from the phone number to the items that we have over here. You can move things around. So for instance, if I want this website thing to be moved around, I can do that. I can put it down here maybe. Maybe that's where I like it better. I don't, but that's okay. I can always hit undo. Put things back to where they were. Oh, I went too far. That's okay though. We went right back to electrics, but that's okay. Hit undo one too many times there. Now, with all the different things that are on here, you can actually, by the way, you can move things around. So in this case here, they've actually got the image and they've got the cutout of the guy here as well. So you got those two layers. Obviously, you don't need the cutout of the guy there, but if he is there. Down here, you got all your shapes. So these would be like the boxes and these different shapes like houses here. And you can come in and you can decide whether you want to turn them on and off. Just like that. Okay. And then where it gets really exciting is you can do spinning. So spinning, like I said, is kind of like an article spinner. So in this case here, you've got with these shapes, these are good for spinning because you can spin the shape itself. So if you click on this here, it's actually going to change this shape. So the next shape might be a circle or something wacky. Or you can just change the color. So if you click on this one here, that's going to spin the color to a different color. Or you could decide to spin both. In this case here, I'm going to spin the color because I kind of like the shapes on that. And we'll spin the color of this one too. And like the image in here, if we want, we can spin that image so that we get a different image on there. So we would come in here and hit that button there to spin it. And we want to make sure that we're still doing electrician so that the next image is still an electrician image. You can always delete anything too, by the way, aside from just turn it off. So now, once we have those selected, we're going to spin the colors and we're going to spin the guy here, or the image in the back here. Now the way that we do that is by hitting add over here. We're going to come into effects, spin, and it's going to think for a second, and it's going to create a bunch of different designs. So you can see here, well, we left the overlay of the guy on there, so we'll want to remove him, but that's okay. This made a bunch of different designs with different colors and shapes, colors for the shapes on there. And so now we've got, 5 different designs, or 6 if you count the original, that we could actually use for distributing out. Now, of course, if we use any of these, we're going to open this up. We should have turned the extra overlay of the guy off because we don't need the extra overlay of him on there. So we could certainly get rid of him. And then let's see, where's he at here? There we go. So now he's gone. So now our spins. Now, by the way, we could actually spin this again if we wanted and see what else it comes up with. So if we wanted to change anything else, we could. But now we've got, we built those 5 different designs. So if we're working with clients, we now have 5 different designs, or 6 because we made the original. So we'd have 6 designs altogether that we could show them with different colors. And of course, maybe we said, oh, I like this one, but this purpley color here is, it's a little too purpley. So we're going to change that up a little bit and make it a little more of the bluer side of things. Boom, there we go. So now we've made that change. And of course, we can come in and we can say, well, now you know what? This green text doesn't make sense. So we probably want to change the color of that text to some sort of a blue as well. And then once we have that done, boom, we can download it there. So as I said, this is a great software for making graphics super, super fast with no skills. This required no skills other than me moving the mouse around and kind of learning how to use the software a little bit. And I'm not an expert at this, so I'm just learning it myself, but it's that easy to do. So be sure to watch their videos where they really go through more things that you can do with this than just what I did. Obviously, if you need to add your own logo, you can import one here, okay? You've also got other effects you can translate, you can resize things, and of course you got your elements. So if you needed to add photos or artwork or masks or shapes or elements or overlays, you can do that. So for instance, let's say we wanted to add something that we love this design, but we want the logo over in this corner here, but in order for the logo to be there, we want to put a shape in there first. So there's our shape. I know, this is lovely, isn't it? Yeah, there's our shape that we want to put in there, and then maybe we want to add our logo to that. So we're going to come in here and we're going to do the import load. We've already got my logo in there. Okay, so now we can do something like this, and so now we've customized this even further. And again, you can mess with this all day long, and it's very easy to do. It does not require any kind of graphic design skills because the templates are already there. You just come in and you move things around and change the text and the phone numbers and all that where you need to. Spin it to create extra options, and you've got a variety of graphics that you can then use. Now, the great thing about this is, in addition to just saving these things out, which we can do, you've also got the ability to save this as a design, okay? So you can give this, whatever design name you want to have it there. You can come in here, you can post this if you wanted to, and that's going to allow you to send that out to different schedules for your different postings. Of course, I don't have anything integrated with this yet, but if we did, you could send it out to your different accounts. So all of that can be done right from in the software here. You can make your schedules. There's your insights when you have that, and your history, which we don't really have a history on this one yet. But all of that is done right from in there. And of course, you can come back, you can create a whole new design and start from scratch. So there you go. That is SpinZign, the easy way to not only create your graphics, but to then create varieties of graphics, which is great for clients. You think about that. Create one graphic, hit spin, present them with 4 or 5 different options, let them decide what they like best, and boom, you got your graphic done. And you can make, a few bucks without putting in hours and hours and hours of effort to be able to do that. So highly recommend you check this out, SpinZign. We got a bunch of bonuses, and we're going to be adding some new bonuses, so be sure to check those out as well. And other than that, hope you have a good rest of the week. If you got any questions about this, let me know, and start spinning your designs and start making some money. We'll love this. This is good stuff.